Here now to react to my open and the Biden administration's lies and dangerous failures at the border, Fox Nation host and investigative journalist Lara Logan and former acting director of national intelligence Ric Grenell. Good evening to both of you. Lara, I will start with you. My understanding is that you have information that there is a bioweapons specialist who told you that the immigrant surge is on its way to launch a virus attack. Tell us about that.
Well, this is what I was told, Judge. There's a group of intelligence and bioweapon type of people and veterans who have been investigating and monitoring, trying as best they can, because so much of it is hidden, the movements of migrants in the middle of the night all across this country, especially in large numbers. And then at the same time, they were monitoring and tracking the surge in COVID cases. And what they found when they overlaid those computer models is that wherever there was a large mass movement of illegal immigrants, there was also a minimum of a 200% surge in COVID. So I spoke to other professionals who are very familiar with this, bioweapon specialists, and they just said that that's what they would call a virus bomb. That's how you would disperse a virus using your human as your bomb. And so this is something that is ongoing. They're still looking at it. They're still investigating it. They haven't come out publicly with their findings, but it's well documented by the CDC over the years that anywhere that you've had, there's been previous cases and other diseases where you've had these kind of movements, and it's resulted in that. And it's hardly surprising considering that, they're not testing anybody and people haven't necessarily been had access to vaccines and
that is
so
the
on.
whole point. And, we've got Ric Grenell, we've got the Biden administration is saying we're not testing them. We know they can't force them to vaccinate. That, if they're not testing them, then how can they allegedly be quarantining anybody? And everybody's gone from the Rio Grande under the bridge there in Del Rio. So what do? How do we protect Americans from what Lara's talking about?
Well, first of all, we have to be very clear. We've seen what the Biden administration is doing, outright lying. Look at the pictures of the immigration officers on the right. We know they're not whipping people like slaves. Yeah. That's a ridiculous argument. And guess what? They're going with it in Washington, D.C. The Biden administration continues, after seeing these pictures, they continue to go at it with whipping slaves. If that doesn't convince everybody in America that Washington, D.C. and the Biden administration, they're doing their own thing. It's unrelated to facts. They're telling us that the border is fine. I can tell you the border is not fine, and the word is out around the world, get to Mexico and surge the border. Now look, I always want to make one thing clear. We are the most generous nation in the history of the world when it comes to immigration. We give 1 million people a year the ability to become American citizens. But guess what? There's 100 million people waiting. We have to have rules. Wow. And the whole idea that somehow we're stingy or we're bad Americans because we want rules, that is ridiculous, just as much as it is to say that these immigration officials were whipping people like slaves.
Well, you know what? You don't
totally
even see
wrong.
that. All you have to do is look at it. But, Lara, I want to go back to you. I mean, what Ric is saying is that basically the laws don't matter. And so every time they say the system is broken as an excuse, they're basically saying we don't have any laws, aren't they?
You know what they're doing? They want you to give up on your laws and give up on having them enforced, because then it's easy for them to do whatever they want. It's about breaking your will to fight. And you can see that all across the spectrum. Because when you look at the border, there isn't a border anymore, right? It's gone. The immigration law is not enforced. ICE has had its hands tied. And on top of that, the Biden administration has even removed the word illegal from the conversation. You're not allowed to talk about illegal immigrants anymore. You have to say migrants. Well, why that's so important is that every single thing they do is not a failure. It's not just chaos. It's not a mistake, because they don't try to correct it. It is a plan. And when you look at that, what is their plan? Well, they talk about the, safe, regular, orderly migration, right? We now have waves of migration, regular waves and irregular waves. We don't have illegal immigration. We don't have a crisis. We don't have a problem. That language is word for word what you can read at the United Nations, the 2018 UN Global Compact on Migration, which made migration a human right that in their book supersedes all other rights, sovereign rights, constitutional rights, God-given rights, and so on. And then it's really interesting because for those of you, who have not forgotten the Summer of Love with Antifa, if you look at the anarchist platforms, you will see them rejoicing right now because they're taking those narratives, that false narrative that Ric Grenell articulated so well there, right, about the horse patrol agents, and they take that and they take the border. This is our chance now to get rid of the border, just the way they want to get rid of the police, rid of the DOJ, rid of the FBI, rid of everything, right? And if you give up,
I want to ask Ric Grenell,
if you give up, then they've
thing.
won.
Rick, you're a national security expert. You were the acting director of DNI. How does this affect our national security? Forget education, medication, housing, and money. National security.
Well, what Lara is saying is totally true, that the migration issue that the UN is pushing, it means no borders. What they want to be able to do is to say migrants have a right to come in and you shouldn't stop them. And they're trying to break us. Ronald Reagan said every generation has to stand up and fight for its freedom. It's not guaranteed, Judge. We know that. We're not asking people to storm the beaches of Normandy, but we are asking people to speak up and forget about this cancel culture. Fight for your country. It's time to fight for freedom. Freedom isn't free.
Yes, indeed. Lara Logan, Ric Grenell, thanks so much for being with us tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.